Yeah. Do you ever have cereal like a naughty treat nowadays as an adult? Do you eat like cereal sort of, I don't know, the dead of night?
I mean, a little bit. I've always been a fan of cereal. Like, I like it. And a nice chocolatey cereal, like
Cocoa
Cocoa
Pops.
Pops, waiting until the milk goes all brown and chocolatey. That is
Yeah.
a real guilty pleasure. Hello, 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 and good morning, everybody. I say good morning because from looking at my face and my eyes in particular, you can tell that I've only just woken up. But good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, everybody. And welcome back to another podcast with a great guest. You can see him here. So, Chris, how are you?
Splendid. Lovely on this Monday morning.
Never been better, right?
Never. Never ever. How are you?
Not bad. You see, we were just kind of catching up over a coffee, which unfortunately, I've just supped it. I've
You have
just
to get bigger
finished.
mugs. That's the
Yeah,
trick. Massive
I'm gonna
mugs.
maybe go for like a triple or quadruple espresso, and that may help me to perk up. And they'll be like, okay, let's do this.
Born again.
But no, I'm good. I was just telling you that I spent the weekend in Paris, which was nice, surprisingly good weather, lots of food, and I spoke quite a bit of French as well, which was
Oh.
strange. I was pleasantly surprised with myself. I also went to an art gallery, which, to be honest, isn't really my thing. I was staring at different works of art, like, I don't get it.
Help. No, yeah, it's. I mean, I used to have a student from Brazil, and she was an artist. Well, she is an artist, and her art was like specifically art that doesn't remain. Like she would have exhibitions with ice, so it's like you have to go and see it, and then it disappears. Like she makes sculptures with ice, and
Oh,
then it's gone. You know, you have like a week or two to go see it, and then it's done. Like it just melts away. I don't know. She was really fascinated with this whole sort of idea of it's temporary. So kind of a bit kooky, but cool.
I mean, it's interesting, but like I said, I don't know if it's just me that I'm not very cultured or I don't have an artsy kind of brain, but it's really hard for me to get modern art or unusual art. I don't know about you if you are interested in arts or museums at all.
No, not really. No, I try. I mean, I go to. There's a museum close to my house called CCCB, and it's really cool. The last one I went to was like a comic book um, exhibition. So I don't know if does that count as art. I mean, technically it is, but
I
yeah,
mean, everything can be art, really. Videos
yeah,
can be art. Sport could maybe be art. Who knows? And if it is, then I like that kind of art.
yeah. It could be. You know, it can be. It can be. It's a dance with a ball in football's case, I suppose. So it works.
100%. Now, I'm curious, what's new in your life? Because the last time we got together to record a podcast was probably a couple of years ago by now. And I don't remember. Where do you live? What are you doing? And what's the latest in your life?
Well, the lowdown, the lay of the land. I live in Barcelona. I've been here, I think two and a bit years now, maybe almost three. I have to renew my visa actually very soon. And yeah, just well, I've got a little school now, working on that, trying to build a little school, helping students focus on their fluency. And the next aim is to go from that to like a workshop. So like getting people to come with me for a week in England, for example. And after that, the full dream or the end game is to have a little physical school. So that's what I'm working on right now. And also just YouTube as well. Working on YouTube. Going to go hitchhiking in the south of Spain
Okay.
in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and we'll film everything and make it a teachable, educational thing at the same time. So kind of really into that in the moment, trying to explore the world and take you with me and, make it a lesson at the same time. So that's kind of what I'm focusing on right now, the school and YouTube really. kind of got a bit fed up with reels. They're cool, but I feel like it's just a rat race to the bottom. I'm just always on the hamster wheel making a video, and I just thought, it's better to do what you really, really like, and I prefer YouTube, to be honest. So
I mean, from a creator's point of view as well, YouTube is more interesting because, of course, it pays you for views. So that's
well,
more
that does help.
interesting. And with longer videos, I feel like you've got more possibilities to actually tell a story, to teach more
Yeah.
things. But on the other hand, it's more complicated. It's more difficult to make it like
Mm,
beautiful, make it entertaining, at least my opinion, of course. And I'm addicted to all kinds of videos at the end of the day. And I'm also
yeah.
consistent making different videos all the time to the extent where when I was eating different things in Paris, I was like, oh, go on, take a video. It's delicious. It's scrumptious. It's
I'm,
yummy.
I'm lying. What did you actually have in Paris? What did you eat?
Well, quite a lot. So, obviously, whenever you go to Paris or France, you've got to make the most of the pastries.
True.
So, I had lots of croissants, pain au chocolat. I had some little like fruity tarts, and I only really wanted French food. But there was a nice street with lots of like Asian, Korean,
All right.
Japanese, different restaurants, and we were on the go, going from one place to another. So we got like this kind of takeaway box of kimchi, bulgogi meat, some rice, different sides, which was to die
Okay.
for. We had steak frites as well.
Very
We had a
nice.
nice sandwich. We tried some oysters. Honestly, we're only there for like a day and a half, but I think I ticked off a lot of boxes in terms of French food and a little bit of Asian at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. No, it sounds good. The fries and steak. Is it unlimited fries?
Yes, but there was a little problem here, which was really frustrating because we planned to go to this famous place. It's called Le Relais, the something something, and it's the one that you're thinking of, which is really, really famous, where you get unlimited fries and you
Mm.
get an entrecote with like some kind of special sauce, which is a bit greeny, maybe with some peppers. And when we were in the queue outside, huge queue as well, we was like really excited. And the people I went with were saying like, "Oh, the chips are great and the meat is great, but the really amazing thing is the sauce." And then because I'm allergic to peanuts, walnuts, etc., they were saying like, "Oh, just in case, let's make sure that you can eat everything." And I was like, "No, don't ask. Like, I just want to, I want to try it, and it'll be fine. Whatever will be, will be." But then after asking, we got the like allergen chart thing,
Mm.
and we realized that the chips are cooked in peanut oil, and the secret sauce is made with walnuts as well. So
Okay.
if we'd have stayed in the queue, then I would have had a steak. That's it.
Yeah, or you wouldn't have been here today.
Or I'd have died happily.
Yeah. True. Yeah, at least you would have died happy.
It'd have
I
been
would
a
have gone
good
with that
death,
option.
maybe.
Yeah, death from
But no,
peanuts.
we had
No,
to
that's a
go to
shame.
another place. So I still had steak free, but it was like a standard restaurant. And this was one of the things on the menu, but it wasn't the typical Instagrammable place where you have lots of people with these amazing chips, lots and lots of steak, this delicious secret sauce that I'll never try.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't tried it yet, so we're in the same boat. There is one here, but I've never been. I don't know why. It's like I think it's €20, and then it's €20, and you get like steak and then unlimited fries with this magic sauce. But yeah, I haven't been yet. I need to do that.
And
Maybe.
on that note, have you ever been to a Michelin star restaurant anywhere?
The only one I remember is, or was, or no, it still is in Japan. It was a ramen place.
Hmm.
So it's kind of peculiar in that sense because obviously ramen is normally like sort of fast food or Japanese fast food, but it was really good. It also was the same as all the other ramen places where you have the machine, you get the ticket, but with this one they put like an hour on it, and you have to come back. I don't know, in an hour, or I think mine was like an hour ish because there's a
Yeah.
queue, but not everyone waits outside. They kind of get there, to get in the go for a walk or whatever. It was really, really good. That's the only one I remember because it was like a gimmick of like it's ramen, but it's a Michelin star. I might have been to one before, but I just don't remember. You know, it's like a fancy restaurant. I don't really like. Oh, this is. By the way, is this a Michelin?
Uh-huh.
So, but not too often. I'd imagine maybe once or twice, but
I
definitely
was,
that time.
yeah, I was wondering because in Barcelona, I know there are lots of kind of posh restaurants and lots of really, really tasty restaurants, of course. And I know that Barcelona and the Basque Country are two of the areas where you have the most Michelin star restaurants, along with Paris, I think. But
Mm.
usually, if it's Michelin star, not like this ramen place, it's a bit of a rip-off. And you have very, very small portions. And I've got a big
Probably.
appetite, so
It
it's
sounds
not
like it
really
from.
for me.
um, yeah, I'm kind of I get locked into my routine, let's say. So I've got like 3 or 4 restaurants I just rotate. I went to one last night. Oh, well, you can't really call it a restaurant. It's a kebab place, but they do this
Okay.
spectacular kebab bowl. It's like €7. So again, not very expensive. And it's amazing. And the other one I always go to as well is Fast Eddie's. It's like the best burger in the world. Not, I didn't say this, right? Rosalia said this, so
Oh, really?
can't argue with her.
Cha cha.
So it is amazing. So if you're in Barcelona, go to Fast Eddie's. There's 2 places, but it's incredible. I love it.
Fast Eddies.
No
Oh,
Michelin star yet, but it might be on the way.
let's see,
Um,
let's see. Now,
yeah.
before we get started with some random little debates and discussions, which are quite fun, if I do say so myself, you mentioned that your end goal is to have a physical school. Um, it's weird because in my case, I'm so used to working remotely and never having to leave my flat, which has its pros and cons. I can't really imagine wanting to have a physical school in the future. What is it about the idea that makes you interested or excited that makes you want to make this real?
Yeah, to see real people again, that'd be quite nice. Like I feel like I just sort of rotate from screen to screen, like this one, and I go to the TV, and I go to the phone, and then I sort of rotate that as well. I just think, yeah, it does have its pros and cons. The only thing that really scares me is like the bills. That is quite off-putting in terms of like when you have a physical location. I think your stress does go up a lot because you're like, oh, I have to pay for the lights, I have to pay for the coffee machine or whatever it could be. But there's just something about it. You have like a community, like you have like a little bubble. I've also talked about other things with friends, like opening up a hostel and having that sort of environment, and then also can make content there with different people that come in. Don't know where I would have this hostel, but it's kind of like just having that bubble of people. I think every day is really fun. Like I don't know if you've ever stayed in a hostel. I imagine
Yeah,
you
yeah.
probably have.
I've stayed in hospitals mainly around Asia, like when I was traveling a little bit. And of course, it's a cool vibe usually. Lots of people coming and going. I imagine it'd be very intense if you were there all the time, but it's a cool thing to have and a cool place to go to.
Yeah, I just think it's nice. You have like, especially the ones that like have the dinner together. There was one in Brazil in Florianopolis. Can't remember the name now, but they had like dinner every night, and it was just great. Like everyone really got together, and then people went out, or people didn't go out, or people just sort of hung out and played board games or whatever. And then after that, you're sort of like you're a big family. People come and go, and it was amazing. And I just think if I could incorporate that with education somehow, I don't know how I would do this yet, but have some sort of crossover. And the school is the same kind of thing, having the sort of little bubble of like, hey guys, welcome, good to see you. Um, but yeah, it's nice being at home and just working in your pajamas. That is cool as well. It's,
I'm basically
it's
wearing my pajamas right now.
yeah, same. It's I mean, winter is coming. Not that it gets freezing cold here, but winter is coming, so it is way nicer in the winter when you can just sort of roll out of bed, chuck on a jumper, and then start working. You know, compared to back in the day when I worked in England, you sort of had to scrape off the ice from the car and heat it up. It's horrible, isn't it? Waking up in the morning. But see, I don't know. Yeah, I'm a bit in between still, but that is the dream. Hopefully.
I mean, let's see what could happen. You never know. Maybe you can have a hostel which is also a school. where you can have some kind of immersion program so that people who want to stay in the hostel and want to practice their English at the same time with some
Hmm.
classes, this could become a reality. And Barcelona would be a good place for it. Apart from the expenses of maybe getting the building in a good area,
Yeah.
that aside, I think it is the perfect place because people from all around the world want to go to Barcelona all the time, and it is a very touristy city. So
Yeah.
let's not rule it out. You never know what could happen.
Yeah. Keep your eyes peeled. But yeah.
Exciting, exciting. Well, let's see. Let's see what happens. And from there, let's kick off and get the ball rolling. I'm going to just share my screen so you can see some of these random questions slash debates. And what we're going to do is just take it in turns to pick one and ask each other so we can discuss it in a little bit more detail. So, Chris, are you ready?
Oh yeah.
You were
Let's go.
born ready. So, how about the second question? Should pineapple be allowed on pizza? And I know
I'm
that
over the moon. You've asked me that one. I was eyeing up that one, thinking, please ask this one.
so
Um,
I know there will be Italians watching or listening to this. So be careful what you say. But what do you reckon? What's your
true.
verdict?
Well, I've got a death wish because I think it should be on pizza. I had it. I had it. Well, I mean, I've never been like a massive fan, but recently it's really grown on me. I don't know why. I went to Madrid the other day, and I was with a friend, and we were looking for food, and we didn't know where we were going, so we kind of stumbled upon a place, an Italian place, and then, well, I suppose it was an Italian place, but it didn't really make sense if they had pineapple pizza, but
Fake Italian.
fake Italian, and we had it because I wanted to get the Diavola or Daviola. What's that one?
Yeah, Diavola, I think.
The spicy one, right? And she was like, "Oh, I don't really like spicy." And I'm like, "Oh God, all right, what do you want? Should we get the Hawaiian?" I was like, "All right." And then we had it. And it is really refreshing. There's something about it, like the pineapple doesn't. It doesn't like I don't know, get all mushy or something. It kind of holds its shape, and it's refreshing as well. The contrast with the savory flavors is really nice. So I dig it. I'm really into it. What do you
Wow.
think?
I mean, I'm afraid I disagree, but
Ooh,
I don't have
spicy.
any like strong feelings. So, in my opinion, all pizzas are good. So even a bad pizza is still a good pizza. It's still tasty. And even if you have bad toppings, you can still make it work as well. So, like, I like pineapple on its own. So, if I like it on its own, it's still going to be tasty on pizza, but I'd never ever order it. And I feel like most other pizzas will be tastier than the Hawaiian pizza,
True.
but it's still pizza. So it's like, well, I'm still going to eat it. Okay, so the verdict is pineapple on pizza for me is a bit of a no-no, but it's not the worst in the world. Chris, for you, in that case, you don't mind it. You're a fan.
I'm into it. Yeah, I think I do like I do like a lot of different toppings on the on pizzas. Like I'm not really sort of very rigid in that sense. Like it has to be just cheese and tomato. But then there are like not the Italians, the Argentinians. Have you ever had have you ever had an Argentinian pizza?
I have, and it's like very cheesy and a little bit thicker crust. And I know
It's
there's
yeah.
one of them with lots of onions as well. It has a special name where it's like without the tomato sauce, but lots and lots of onions and cheese.
That one's Uruguayan. I had that one actually.
Okay.
Yeah, that is weird. It's just cheesy bread. Like it's okay, but yeah, I had to try it when I was there. But the Argentinian one, like they have loads of them here because I think here it's obviously like Spanish nationals, of course, in Barcelona. After that, Moroccans, and then after that, it's like Argentinians. There's like I think 1 million or something. So there's loads of places here with Argentinian, empanadas or whatever, and pizzas as well. They are very thick and chunky,
Hmm.
and they just overload it with toppings, like to the point where the cheese underneath doesn't melt. So for me, it's a little bit too much. But I do like toppings on pizza, like whatever. But you gotta have a bit of ratio. You have to have some space. But yeah, I like everything
I
basically.
mean, it's true that you can very easily overdo it, I think.
Yeah.
If, for example, a meat feast pizza, like, again, it's tasty because it's pizza and it's meat. What could go wrong? But I think
Yeah.
if you put too much on, you can overdo it. And I'm quite a fan of just a margarita or maybe like two toppings. And then sometimes simplicity is just better. But
Yeah.
if
I
that is the
agree.
case, actually, when I order a pizza from a lovely place around the corner, it's very authentic, like Neapolitan style, but it doesn't really fill me up because
Mm.
it's very, very thin. So then I'll finish it and be like, okay, I could probably have another pizza. And I have sometimes ordered two pizzas at the same time and finished both of them because it's like, it's just a little snack almost.
Yes. A little sandwich. Little Italian sandwich. Yeah, true.
Delicious. All right. Well, moving on from pizza, sharing my screen again. Chris, over to you. Pick a question and ask me.
Um, well, let's see then. Oh, well, there's a bit of a funky question. I don't really know how to answer it, so maybe I'll ask you.
Okay.
Is cereal a soup? Don't really know where to go with that one.
I mean, it's. I would say no. It's not a soup. Um, like basically, like I don't think anybody's ever asked me this question, but it was generated by artificial intelligence, so it must be a thing.
Must be.
But I guess you eat cereal in a bowl and you use a spoon, which is the same kind of action that you do when you're having a soup. So
Mm,
maybe you could argue it's kind of like a cold soup. And then there's the other question about like gazpacho. Is gazpacho a
mm,
soup or not? Because often it's translated as cold tomato soup, which doesn't really do it justice, but it is a way of making it clearer to people who've never heard of gazpacho what it's going to be like. But I'd say cereal is going a bit too far, and classing cereal as a soup is it's madness. It's mental. It's bonkers. Uh, what do you reckon?
yeah, they're off. They're off their rocker. Um, yeah, yeah, definitely not a soup. But going back to gazpacho, I think cold soup is. Do you not feel like it's very sad? Like when I'm eating it, I feel sad. Like even if it's like baking hot outside, I'm eating it like it's just something about it that's quite depressing. The fact is,
You're not a fan of gazpacho?
I don't the flavors and I like the flavors and that, but it's just because it's cold. I just feel like it feels like don't know, like you let's say for example you for some reason are outdoors survival mode and you have a tin of baked beans or soup. You open it and you have a spoon. You're eating it out of the can. There's just something about it. It's a bit sad. You're just eating it like it's cold. You're like, do you know? I just have that sensation like it's not quite right.
I
Maybe
mean,
I'm by myself on this, but
I know what you mean with that because I remember when I was at school, a couple of my best mates used to like randomly have a snack of cold Heinz tomato soup or just a can of like baked beans, and they'd have it cold without heating it up. And I never really saw the appeal. I never really got it.
mm,
Of course, baked beans they're nice. Beans on toast, fantastic. Or in a fry up, amazing. But just cold, it seems like it makes that sound as well of like a sloshy sound. If
yeah, I know what you
you're
mean.
if you're getting a spoon and then having a bite, it's a little bit depressing and a little bit sad. But I think gazpacho, when you have it and it's absolutely scorching, it's boiling outside, then it is something perfect to, just down it and then you'll be refreshed. It's a bit of a palate cleanser as well. So then you can
Mm.
begin with that and then get a proper meal. That's what I'd say.
That would be my New Year's resolution in 2026. I'm gonna come back to gazpacho and try and give it another try, But I have to wait till summer, obviously.
It's tasty. I mean, keep trying.
Yeah.
And it's a superfood as well, really. It's nice and healthy. Olive oil, tomatoes,
Mm,
sometimes some other veggies, little bit of garlic, which garlic's always good, even if it gives you a bit of bad breath. But hey,
yeah.
that's fine. No worries.
Yeah. Just don't kiss anyone.
So yeah, to sum up, cereal is not a soup.
Cereal's not a soup. Yeah. Do you ever have cereal like a naughty treat nowadays as an adult? Do you eat like cereal, sort of, I don't know, the dead of night?
I mean, a little bit. I've always been a fan of cereal. Like, I like it. And a nice chocolatey cereal, like
Cocoa
Cocoa
Pops.
Pops, waiting until the milk goes all brown and chocolatey. That is
Yeah.
a real guilty pleasure. I usually don't buy that in particular. I'll get like muesli with chocolate. So then it's like a
Oh.
slightly more mature adult version of Cocoa Pops.
Yeah, don't feel as guilty. I bet it's the same amount of like calories and sugar, but you're just like, oh, I'm an adult now.
It's probably worse, but I don't mind
Yeah.
having that for dinner. Like, if I can't be bothered cooking and I know I've got milk and cereal, then it's nice and easy. It's tasty. You get that like hit of sugar as well. So it hits the spot, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the day when I go to a restaurant and it's like you have like tiramisu, banoffee pie, and it's like bowl of Cocoa Pops, and like, yep, I'll have one of those, please. Post pizza, I'll have a bowl of Cocoa Pops. I'll be down for it.
I mean, you're showing your true colors now.
Yeah, a baby.
Pineapple on pizza, Cocoa Pops over tiramisu.
Yeah, basically, I'm the worst person to ask for food advice.
Proper English. All right, let's move on to another question. And this is going to reveal how English you are as well. It's, is it ever acceptable to wear socks with sandals? Are you that guy from a meme that'll be wearing flip flops or sandals with big white socks at the same time?
um, no, probably. I mean, I want to say definitely no. Just,
Okay.
I suppose my basic opinion on that is when you wear sandals, you're freeing your feet, right? You're getting them out there into the world. It's like, what's the point of putting sandals on with socks? It's like, sort of like, you're halfway there, really. You're not really enjoying it so much. I don't know. It's like going in a swimming pool with all your clothes on. It's like, what's the point? Just enjoy it fully or not. Yeah, I can't imagine walking around the beach with, not, in a seaside town or wherever with socks on. Let them out. Let them free. I mean, my feet are disgusting, but, let them out.
Free the
Let them,
toes.
yeah, enjoy the fresh air. So yeah, I don't know, definitely not. I mean, it, what are they referring to there? Like the Birkenstocks with, because I can't imagine like Hawaiian. What's it called? What the Brazilian one's called?
Havaiana, maybe?
Hawaiianas. I can't imagine them with socks. You know what I mean? Is it like more Birkenstocks kind
Yeah,
of?
I think it's probably just referring to these images that people from Spain, for example, will use to laugh at and say that this is the classic example of a giri, basically like a Northern European / English person or North American who will go to Spain on holiday, get really, really burnt,
Yeah.
and wear sandals with socks. And they'll say, like, oh, that's classic. Classic English person, classic American.
It's more German, isn't it? Germans are the socks and sandals
Probably.
one is German. I think when I was in Mallorca, which is did they say it's the 12th state of Germany? It's just full of Germans. Um, there were a lot of socks and sandals there, but it was more like you have the strap over the foot kind of
Uh-huh.
style. So they're kind of like smart wear, but still, it's like, come on, let them out. Let
Free
them
the
out.
feet.
Free the feet. Free the feet.
Free the feet. What? I
What
mean,
do you think? What were you? Are you on
I
team
never
feet
do
or?
it, but I kind of get it because I've got delicate feet. I have sensitive feet. So if I'm walking around in flip flops or sandals, the skin around my toes and my feet will get a bit delicate and a bit sensitive. And sometimes I'll have like little cuts on my feet or little blisters
Oh,
because I've
really?
been walking without socks. And
Yeah.
maybe it's just me, or maybe there are other people who suffer the same fate when it comes to wearing sandals or flip flops without socks. And this is why I might do it, because then it protects your feet. So they're not as
Yeah.
free, but they're protected.
I want you to like look for like Facebook groups after this and be like sensitive feet people, like kind of all band together. Like, hey guys, do you have this problem with your pinky toe? Yeah, yeah, all the time. Yeah, it's the most
I've
sensitive
been
one.
waiting to find someone who suffers the same thing.
Oh, yeah. Or you could go to Australia and just go full bogan, go full I don't know full no shoes and walk around for a year, and then you'd adapt and you would get some hard feet or tough feet.
I mean, this summer I did actually start doing that because where I spend a lot of time in summer in Cardiff, it's like maybe 5 minutes walk from my fiance's house to the beach.
Ooh.
And every time I was doing it wearing flip flops, and then your feet get sandy. And when they get sandy, they're more prone to like rubbing a lot. And when they rub a lot, then they might cut or might get some blisters. So I was getting fed up of it. So I started just walking to the beach and back 5 minutes. And my feet were less sensitive with that than they were when wearing flip flops. Of course, my fiance was like, "Oh, Lewis, that's disgusting. Do you realize all of the poo that you're standing on? All of
That
the
is
chewing
it is
gum?
minging. You
It's
are a minging.
minging. It's gross." But I mean, my
No,
feet
it's
were happier.
yeah. No, I mean, if it's 5 minutes from the beach, yeah, I can imagine. It's just something about it, like, is you feel like you're in holiday mode, right? You kind of just walk around, like I was in Ibiza. I mentioned before this pod, I was in Ibiza, and not that I was walking around Ibiza without shoes on or whatever, but like going from your hotel room to the pool or to go to the bar or something, you just sort of bowl around in bare feet, and it's nice. You feel like there's no rules. I'm on holiday, so
Exactly.
it's kind of cool.
Not a care in the world.
Not a care in the world. That's as wild as it got on Ibiza. You're not wearing any shoes. Whoa, yeah, not wearing any shoes.
I'm gonna have a Hawaiian pizza in a minute. You gonna stop me?
Yeah. I actually did have the breakfast there wasn't great in the all inclusive. I did wake up 3 or 4 times, go down for breakfast, and they would have like nuggets and chips, and it was like, God, this is all they have here. It's like it's not very. I need some 5 a day to get going. But there was no vitamins for like 4 days. It was terrible. But
You need
Ibiza.
your gazpacho in the morning to wake you up.
True.
Okay, cool. Let's move on to the next section. So we've got some questions related to kind of pop culture and technology. And well, Chris, it's your turn. So do you want to scan these questions and ask me one?
The pressure's on. Let's
Indeed.
see. I mean, there's some good questions here actually. Bravo AI. I'm sort of in between 16 or 17. Go 17. Does music sound better on vinyl than on Spotify, or I suppose digital?
Honestly, I don't really know. And I think this goes back to me not being able to really distinguish and differentiate between different art. And I think a similar thing happens with music because, of course, like most people nowadays, the vast majority of the music I listen to is on Spotify or on YouTube sometimes, or randomly in a bar, and you've got something on in the background, and then you might use Shazam to check what song it is just to save for later. And my neighbor downstairs actually has like lots of vinyls, and whenever people go around to have a drink or just to catch up, he will put the music on vinyl. And of course, it sounds great, but does it sound better? I'm not sure. Personally, I don't think so. And I know there are lots of people who can be really, really obsessed with music, and they'll collect different records and they'll play it on vinyl. But for me, it's a little bit just like showing off. And people are like, "Oh, this is cool. It's very nice and old fashioned." And of course, it looks nice. It's great for decoration. Maybe it fits in the moment. But in terms of sound quality,
Coasters. They make good coasters for your cups.
like the sound quality, it's the same or maybe even worse because if it's on Spotify, then it's on a modern gadget, so the
Mm,
technology should be better. So it should, in theory, sound better as well. So
mm,
personally, I think it probably sounds better on Spotify. What do
mm.
you reckon?
Well, here's where you're wrong, Lewis.
Okay,
No,
I'm all ears.
no, I was actually having a little mini debate with a friend yesterday about this. Just sort of talking about, I don't know how we got onto that topic, but it was like about appreciating music. And I think we were talking about Taylor Swift. That's how it started, and her new album and how bad it is. Um, yeah, I think for me, I have a couple of vinyls. I don't have too many. I think I have like 10 or 20. And I think it's one. Well, firstly, I think it's one thing you kind of get into as you get older. Like, when
Okay.
you get over 30, it's like, I'm going to run a marathon, or like I'm going to start
Feel that.
cycling or collecting vinyls. It's kind of just something you need to get into to have purpose in your life. So mine is kind of vinyls and also coffee, I suppose, like these weird niche hobbies you kind of get into as you get older. But the other thing, um, I do like vinyls because I don't listen to them all the time, but if I'm doing something like studying or yeah, just kind of background music, having friends over, it is kind of cool because you listen to the whole album and it's an experience, right? It's kind of good because you listen to the interludes, you listen to the intro. Whoever listens to the first song on an album when you've got it on Spotify? Nobody. So you skip over it, right?
Yeah.
So I think the listening experience is different. You enjoy it in a different way, a bit like a movie, right? You're not just sort of like swiping like little mini videos. You're kind of just really enjoying it. So that's really cool, and I like that a lot. There's a few, like there's one, Nick Drake.
I recognize the name, but I don't know who he is, to be honest.
He's like he he's from like I think it's like 60s or 70s, and he's got one album called Pink Moon, and it's just I put it on and it's really chill. So like if I'm had a stressful day or if I'm trying to relax, put that on, and I don't because if you've got Spotify, you're kind of like, oh, this song's good, and then your next one, oh, this one's good, and you're not really relaxing because you're thinking the next one, or you're looking on your phone again. Whereas I put that on the vinyl, get a book maybe, or just lie on the sofa, and it's like just every song's very chill and like acoustic. So it's kind of good to kind of get you in a different mood
I mean,
rather than
I could kind of relate this to comparing nowadays with Netflix, Amazon Prime, etc., having everything on demand. With previously, when we were growing up, you'd look forward to a specific day and a specific time to watch a program or a series. I remember watching 24 with
mm,
Jack Bauer and all of that. And it was a TV program that my dad used to absolutely love. So then I got into it as well. And we'd specifically look forward to that moment. It's like, oh,
mm.
is 24 on? Or, next week.
Friday. Woo!
Yeah, big Friday night at home.
No, but when I grew up in a village, for example, and there was one corner shop. Well, there was a few corner shops, but there was only one corner shop that had in the back. It had DVDs.
Hmm.
So you had to wait for like new ones to come, or like you would go down there with your friends or your parents or whatever, and that was a really cool experience. Going down there and like grabbing the DVD and be like, "Oh, have you seen this one?" And then you have all the sweets at the front, and you kind of like I love that experience of
Yeah.
going there and really kind of enjoying that physical moment of grabbing a DVD. Whereas now it's like, how annoying is it when you're looking for something online, maybe illegally, and it's just like pain to get the link to work, or like obviously Netflix is cool as well, but then it's also limiting. Like, well, I suppose that kind of defeats my point because also it's limiting in the shop. But yeah, I don't know. It has good and bad, right? DVDs or
Everything has pros and cons. Like, I remember doing what you mentioned, going to like the local Blockbuster or similar, and I'd go with a friend for DVDs, but not only that, for like PlayStation or Xbox games.
oh, really? They PlayStation games.
And I remember being like, oh, what should we play this weekend? Because you'd rent
Mm.
it from Friday until Sunday or Monday. And then I'd organize like maybe a sleepover at my friend's house. And they'd be like, oh, what should we play? Should we get the new Spyro? That's
No,
going to be
Spyro's
cool,
good.
isn't it? And then you'd play it as much as possible for the whole weekend, basically. And then it was gone. So maybe
Yeah.
that's a bigger philosophical thing where if you know something is limited, you might enjoy it more. And if
Oh
you
yeah,
physically
100%.
make the effort to go and choose something, then you're actually gonna squeeze all of the joy out of it, let's say.
Yeah, definitely. There's something in that. I'm not sure what, but there's definitely something in that
But no,
for sure.
interesting, interesting. All right, from there, another question. You said that these were all pretty interesting. So let me choose. Hmm. Decisions, decisions. The first question is related to Marvel and DC, which personally, meh, I couldn't really care less about
I
superhero films, so I'm gonna
don't.
skip that.
It's
And
over my head.
let's go for number 14, because you mentioned that creating reels is like being in a constant rat race, that you're constantly competing and it's stressful and it's like a representation of busy
Mm.
21st century life. So, what do you reckon? Do you think social media does more harm or good?
Yeah, probably. Oh, it's hard, isn't it? It's probably doing just as amount. Hmm. It's 50-50, isn't it? It's hard because I am addicted to TikTok, for example, and that's really bad. I can spend 40 minutes on TikTok and it feels like 5 minutes. But then you do see some videos on TikTok or these other platforms, and people are doing some really cool things. I don't know, like raising money for charity or like doing these sort of giveaway things. I know maybe some of them might have ulterior motives, but
Mhm.
I want to give them the benefit of the doubt and say they're doing something for the sake of doing something good, and that is really cool. I think maybe for me, when I was talking about being sort of stuck in the loop of making videos or short videos, it kind of dawned on me one day that I don't remember the last short video that I saw that I was like, oh, like I was like, if I would I ever recommend a short video to a friend, and I can't remember the last one I saw. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
like like a movie, like you need to watch this movie. I was trying to think like, do you ever do that with short videos? And I don't think anyone ever does. So it's just like meaningless scrolling, right? Because it's not like, oh, I saw this really cool TikTok. You might, I suppose, maybe you might share it with a friend, right? But whereas a YouTube or a longer video, I feel like you would recommend that more. Like, oh, there's a cool, really sort of mini documentary video or this travel video.
Mhm.
I don't know. It just felt like you kind of just forget it after 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So
I
that's not
mean,
good, is it?
I think I agree. And related to that, there's a guy who's from Leeds who I follow on YouTube, who does eating challenges. You might have heard of him. It's Beard Meets Food.
Yeah. So I've seen. So that's true. When you are, you've said it now, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember his videos. But I don't remember specifically what he does, but he's always like go traveling around and eating stuff.
But in his case, he's got a podcast as well, which I don't normally listen to, but sometimes you'll see like a couple of clips. You can tell I'm a bit of a fat guy because I like to see him absolutely stuffing himself, pigging out. And he's really against the idea of short form content.
Oh really?
And he'll make YouTube videos, and they're all a little bit like a story as well, because you want to see if he's going to be able to finish it or not. And that provides this long lasting hook, because
Mm,
the hook first is seeing the food and what it looks like, how big it is, and then you're kind of rooting for him. You're supporting him and thinking, I wonder if he'll be able to do it. So then for YouTube's algorithm, this is perfect because people want to stay until the end to see what happens. And he said a few times, like, TikTok Reels, they're a load of rubbish because you don't actually capture people's attention. And
mm,
maybe he's right with that. But at the same time, I think there are so many more people who scroll up and down on TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts than people who actually make the effort to watch longer
mm.
form content. So then you're appealing to a wider audience by making short form content. So, I mean,
Yeah.
who knows? It's a bit of a, there are pros and cons to everything. And I think for the viewers, like, you can choose to watch something educational. or you can choose to watch something that will make you waste your time. So it's all up
Yeah,
to the viewer, whether it's doing more harm or good, I think.
true. Yeah, true. Although I think those platforms are doing something sneaky to our brains where it's very addictive. I don't know what they're doing, like some psychological tricks, because it works for me. Um, Going back to that guy, has he ever lost a challenge? Because I've never seen him lose a challenge. He's always won incredibly
I
well,
mean,
like easily. Like, he's always done it really easily. Like,
he's a machine. I've seen him lose once or twice, and I
not
think
really.
he's said when people ask him, like, "Oh, mate, do you ever lose? Do you ever not finish it?" And they was like, "Oh, it'll happen once or twice a year." And he'll probably do a challenge twice a week, maybe. So then out of 100 challenges, like his success ratio is like 99%. And he's a small guy, of course.
He's quite skinny. Yeah. No, I think he's quite
He's
skinny. No.
buff, is skinny but strong.
Okay.
And I ran into him one day in Leeds, and it was mental because all of my friends also watch his videos. And this is just a random guy who eats a lot, which shows the state of the world and the internet at the
Yeah.
moment. But when we were at the bar ordering some drinks, um, we saw him, and then we all like did this little fangirl moment. It's like, oh my god, it's Beard Meets Food! It's Beard Meets Food! And we started taking selfies with him. And then I ran out of the bar to see my fiance, and I was like, "You have no idea who I've just seen." And she was like, "Who is it? Like a famous footballer, or a famous singer, or a politician?" And I was like, "No, it's Beard Meets Food."
What does he do? He eats food. Yeah. Oh, very
So
impressive. Very impressive.
nice one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. I do like his videos though. I don't know why.
It's addictive. Anyway, let's move on and do one final question. So, whose turn was it? It was your turn to ask me, right?
I think so.
I think so. Let's do it. So I'm going to share my screen. We can always go over some of these questions or different questions in the future on another podcast. But for now, we'll finish with one last one. So,
Okay.
Chris, here you've got 10 options related to society and culture. Pick a
Mm.
random one that catches your eye.
Let's see.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, again, I'm sort of torn. 22 and 23, both pretty good ones, I think.
Hmm.
I'll go with 22. Is traveling alone better than traveling with friends?
Now, here, I'd say no. I think it's better to travel with friends or with family or with other people. But I do see the appeal of traveling alone as well.
Mm.
But I've never really done it properly, so I'm not able to properly judge. I know you have, but like the idea for me of traveling on your own can be a little bit lonely. And personally, I think maybe I'm not sociable enough to want to go out there, put myself out there, and make friends with people whilst I'm traveling. That there would be
Mm.
moments when I do this in hostels, for example, and it'd be cool meeting new people and having all this freedom to do whatever you want when you want. So that's why I think
Go to those art galleries
exactly have a
that you
great
love.
time.
Where have you been then? So you said you kind of done it.
That's the thing. I haven't really done it. So when I was in Argentina, we traveled around a little bit with people that I had just met. So I wasn't really traveling on my own. And then when I was doing my Erasmus in Italy, I did a mini trip of different cities in Italy on my own. Went to Naples, went to Rome. Um,
Mm.
but to be honest, I didn't really socialize much. And then most of the traveling I've done is with my fiance when we were traveling around Indonesia, Singapore,
Mm.
Malaysia, and Thailand. And in that sense, it was great to have each other. But because we were a couple, maybe we weren't as sociable or didn't make as many friends as we could have because we were
Yeah.
an item. So I'd say it's nicer to go with people you choose to go with, and then you can always organize different activities and maybe make friends at the same time. But personally,
Mm.
I'd want to travel with people that I already know. What about you? You've got more experience in this.
I think it depends on the place, really. So for example, I wouldn't travel alone to Mallorca, right? Because it's a very coupley place, or it seems like a very popular place with groups of people. Um, you know, but then I've been where have I been by myself? I've been in most places in South America by myself. Like I've been to Brazil and Argentina by myself, and I think it's good in that sense because you are forced to meet people. Otherwise, you will just be by yourself reading a book all for 4 months or whatever. So it's really cool in that sense. And I think once you get into the mode of like traveler, it kind of does get easy. Like it's always daunting the first couple of days. You're like, oh, I have to kind of push myself out there. Like, hi, I'm Chris. I'm cool. Let's hang out. um, but you kind of just get in the mode, and you're like, oh, just I don't know, you just get used to it, and it kind of makes sense. Just sort of talking to people on the street or whatever. So it's really cool. I think the first time I did it was in Colombia, and I couldn't speak a word of Spanish, but still it kind of worked because Colombian people are really friendly. So it was really, really cool. Um, yeah, so I think that for that reason, for me, I only travel to meet people. Really, like I go to places because I want to speak to locals. I think that's really fun,
Hmm.
and I try to go off the beaten track when I go to places. Like recently, I went to Paraguay, and that was really fun because I think I was the only tourist in the country, like based on how people were interacting with me. So that was really fun compared to like Rio, which was also really fun. But it's not like you don't really feel like you don't feel special.
Special. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's really cool, but it's kind of like another tourist. So like if I could recommend anyone to come to the UK, I would. Well, London's really cool, but I would recommend I don't know go to Crewe. You know, check out Crewe or I don't or
Or
go off the beaten
Carlisle.
track a little bit. Yeah, Carlisle. Now go somewhere like I don't know, maybe a smaller city like Bristol or
Hmm.
something. There are a lot of tourists in Bristol as well, but down to Cornwall,
Yeah.
people will be
Now,
like, "Oh, what are you doing here?"
yeah, what are you doing? I'm curious because I remember when I was traveling around Asia that when you were in hostels, it'd always be the same conversation over and over again, where
Yeah.
you'd introduce yourself, say a little bit about yourself, you'd hear their story as well, and it'd be always like, oh, so how long have you been traveling? So whereabouts have you been? And it's like, I mean, of course you're going to speak about this because it's the recent history of what that person has done. But it was always a little bit like, come on, mate, like,
Yeah.
give it a rest. We can speak about other things as well. It's not just, I've been to these 5 countries in the last 3 weeks and all of them were amazing. And now I'm going to go blah, blah, blah. So
Yeah,
that did get on my nerves a little bit, where it was a bit repetitive of
that's
always
true.
having the same questions and the same conversation again and again. Did this annoy you in any way?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I think I definitely did that when I was younger. When I did Europe 3 times when I was like 18 to 21, just every year, save up, and then the 3 month break you have from university, I'd go around Europe on the Interrail. Then
Mhm.
that would be the same as always. Like, where are you from? What do you? I don't know. How long have you been traveling? Where are you going next, or etc. Um, but I think now I'm 34, and when I ask someone like where they're from, I think I know quite a lot about different countries. So
Mhm.
I'll I'll try and break that by saying something about their country. If they say, "Oh, I'm from, I don't know, Argentina or whatever," I'll be like, "Oh, do you put sugar in your mate?" Just try and go off on a different tangent.
Yeah, yeah.
Try and find something that's fairly interesting about their culture, and then ask them about that, like whatever it could be, different places. Don't know. Yeah, something. I try and go off course in that sense. Also, it's more interesting for me, so I'll be like, try and ask them about something interesting about their country. But I do ask that first question, like, where are you from? I think you have to have the one boring question to get it going, and then it's up to you to go off on a tangent on something else or not.
No,
But
no,
yeah,
I agree. Maybe I don't know what it is, but I think I'm a very lazy social person. Uh, so then, of course, I'm very sociable when I'm teaching and doing all of these things. It's my job, of course. But
yeah,
then a lot of the times, if I'm meeting people or hanging out with people, I'm quite okay with what used to be an awkward silence. Now,
Okay.
I think as you get older, you can like notice that we're just sitting, drinking, not really chatting that much, and it's fine. It's cool.
Yeah, yeah. No, you don't have to fill the silence, especially in England. I've definitely had lots of family reunions, and it's just like, or family get-togethers, and it's just like,
Good Yorkshire
yeah,
pudding, right?
yeah. So, but I think in other countries, I don't know, maybe it's a bit different. They like to fill those silences, which is fine. Yeah, I know what you mean. Sometimes I think if you kind of get tired of that, you can take a break when you're traveling as well, and just be like, oh, I'm gonna have a day for myself,
Mhm.
and go for a walk on the beach. But then you come back and you can get involved in the social aspects. So it's, yeah, I think again, it's all about just doing what you want to do. Really, if you feel like it, go for it. If you don't, then
You do you.
it's all good. It's all good in the hood.
Absolutely. Now, before we finish off, Chris, it is Monday when we are recording this. It's the morning, just past 10 o'clock. What's your plan for the rest of the day?
I actually do need. I need to check. I have a few. I have a few lessons today. I'm not sure when they are. I feel like one might be at 10 a.m. I don't think it is. I need to
Are you
check my
sure not?
schedule. Hopefully not. Yeah, I don't know why. I got a funny feeling there's something at 10. But yeah, I got a few classes today, and then I've got to do my taxes, which is also really fun. And then probably hit the gym just to do something healthy. And that's it really. Yeah, just a day of work and admin. So, woohoo!
Fascinating
Oh,
stuff.
yeah. Inspire me. What are you up to?
I mean, pretty similar, to be honest. I usually avoid doing my taxes until the last possible moment. So I
Oh,
think
I'm at the last. I'm way over the deadline.
I think I've
I need to
got
do
another
it.
week or another week and a half, so I'll leave that until like Friday when I usually finish quite early. But now I've got a few hours break, so I might do a little bit of editing, possibly record another podcast as well.
Mm.
Then I've got a company class at 2 o'clock until 3 o'clock. Then from 3 till 5, I've always got a break where I'll go and do some exercise or just walk around if the weather improves. And then from 5 until 8, I've got my community group classes. And at 8 o'clock, I will call it a day and lie on my sofa, pig out like Mr. Beard,
Scrolling
scroll up
away.
and down, and maybe start a new series. I'm not sure what, but who knows? Or I can go to an old corner shop and get a
Yeah,
DVD.
yeah. You got any Lost?
No,
You got any 24?
got the latest the latest season of 24.
Yeah. God, those were the days. Those were
Those
the
were the
days.
days, the good old days. But now, thank you everybody for watching, listening. Thank you, Chris, for joining. A pleasure as always. And yeah, maybe we can go over some more random questions in the near future.
Yeah, lovely. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
All right. See you later, guys. Bye bye.
Bye bye.